Let's get to story number 5. Story number 5 is nature fighting back. It's a coincidence because it's raining up here and I can hear it hitting the top of the roof. Deadly Chinese tornadoes destroys thousands of homes. They're talking about military emissions. And one thing I know for sure is that nature shows no mercy. And they're talking about how I was doing some figuring, and it seems to be fighting back with all these nature stories have been in the headlines constantly with global warming, pollution. There was even a story that surfaced about how there's an oil leak, how oil is still leaking into the ocean. There was another story that talked about how Puerto Rico, they're talking about going into solar energy for renewable energy because of how they just can't seem to fight all of this climate change stuff and all the fact that they keep getting hit by hurricanes. So they're talking about using renewable energies. So the another question I have is, how do we know that we're not affecting the earth with solar power? You know, when you're not letting the sun's rays hit the earth, what could be happening with the sun's rays? Is it normal for the sun's rays to hit the earth, or could the reflection be going back? We don't, this is science at a totally different level. People try and they start utilizing different ways to save the earth, and then something else goes wrong. So these are questions you have to ask yourself because of the fact that they were fracking, drilling into the earth, and now they're talking about how fracking could cause earthquakes. Earthquake just hit California. We just seen it hit parts of LA and Las Vegas. So the earthquakes are coming, but how do we know that these earthquakes are not caused by drilling? So these are questions that we have to ask ourselves. When you use solar power, how do you know that when you're taking that sun from hitting the ground, how do you know it's not affecting another patch of earth? Who knows? Where does the sun's rays creates colors? It creates life. So how do you know when that life is being reflected or being absorbed? How do you know it's not taking away from the earth? Interesting. Report shows that electric cars will not solve transportation problems. There's another study that talks about how planting trees could help fight global climate change. A tsunami warning in Japan after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake. So story number 5 is nature fighting back. Interesting something here. Could nature be fighting back? Puerto Rico preparing for another storm without the help of the government. A volcano erupts on an Italian island that's popular with tourists. It killed some hikers up on the mountain. Temperature hit 120 in India. This June was the world's hottest on record, and Brazil is carving up the Amazon at a staggering rate. So we have to ask ourselves, is there a cause and effect when we are doing things on Earth? Could this be affecting, and could nature be fighting back? Sea ice in the Antarctica is now, they're saying that it's shrinking. There's a freak summer hailstorm. This is a story that surfaced, engulfed Mexico City. They were talking about how Guadalajara's streets were filled with 6 feet of ice from a hailstorm. Record-smashing heat wave bakes Alaska. Worsening wildfires. Garbage truck falls into a massive sinkhole in I think it was an Italian city. So people had to evacuate. So is nature fighting back? Story number 5. This story is bumped up. We talk about the laws of nature and the way people interact with their environment. Could the environment be fighting back, trying to hurt us for hurting it? This is scary stuff, but it could be real. Could the world be trying to get rid of us? Who knows? If you want to contribute, you're on the Mediator with me, Brian West, where it's my supreme duty every week to give you the top 8 headlines developing news stories that made it in. I'm here to give you some insight, to give you some type of understanding what's happening around you. So if you want to contribute or if you want to help out, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or just sponsor a program.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.